video turns so serious. Supposed to be having a laugh, but the dad jokes and the puns let me down, okay? So now we're doing real talk. Meh. Hey folks, how's it going? How are you today? How has your day or week been? I'm feeling pretty meh today, like just like meh. I mean, not the whole day, but like now I feel like just meh and slightly irritable. So I don't really know why. I thought, let's come on here and make a video, try and cheer myself up a little bit, because my name's Cassandra and this is where I respond to things on the internet for my entertainment and yours. If that tickles your pickle, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. So in this video, I thought we could take a look at maybe some funny things on Reddit, cheer ourselves up, make ourselves feel a little bit better. So let's take a look at dad jokes. What is the difference between a golfer and a parachuter having a bad day? I don't know. What is the difference between a golfer and a parachuter having a bad day? A golfer goes whack, ah shit. A parachuter goes, ah shit, whack. That's not funny. Like, I get it, but it's not funny. I would love to tell you my secret recipe for my famous Indian flatbread. But first, I'll need you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I like that one. That was good. My brother got addicted to brake fluids. Our family are very worried. But he says he can stop whenever he wants. That's weak sauce. You want to hear my story about climbing Mount Everest? Well, I made it up. I still like the Nan one the best. Why are McDonald's ice cream machines not allowed in the courtroom? Because they're always out of order. That's a better one. The best proverbs can be found on bottles of ketchup or mayonnaise. I find they're always good sources of inspiration. Yeah, okay. I don't really like this. I mean, I know they're dad jokes, but usually I like dad jokes, you know, but doesn't mean you can just come up with anything and I'll laugh. Let's take a look at puns. How's that doing? This butter is delicious. Actually, it's ghee. Ah, thanks for clarifying. This only works if you know what ghee is. Ghee is clarified butter. This is disappointing. Disappointed! Do you know, I normally love like stupid dorky jokes and puns and stuff, but these aren't funny. Weak sauce. Don't think I'll be doing this again. What about dating over 30? Okay, what about this one? A woman I met organically. How else do you meet someone? You mean like a blind date or something? Okay. A woman I met organically isn't ready for a relationship, but she keeps dropping hints that she is interested in me. I'm not really sure what to do. We met through a mutual friend pretty quick after I moved to a new city for work. We clicked instantly, but she made it clear from the start that she is somewhat fresh, 6 months, out of a bad long-term relationship, and wasn't considering any relationship. We kept hanging out and getting to know each other over a month, after which we ended up cuddling and kissing after a bit. Cuddling and kissing a bit after a few drinks at my place. I had her over later to say that I had strong feelings and that I can't live in the in-between. She said she understood, gave me a very extended hug, and we didn't see or hear from each other for weeks since I needed space. That's fair, that's fair. She started texting me again now, saying that she misses me. She saw me driving around town today. That's kind of weird. She saw me driving around town today and texted me saying how she loved seeing me. That's kind of creepy. And how I gave her a big smile. I didn't see her, of course, because she was hiding in the bushes. She probably wasn't, but it's funny. It's clear that she likes me, but I'm having a hard time deciphering this. In the meantime, I'm going on dates with other women and just doing my own thing since I don't want to get strung along. Okay? I really do like her and feel that. This is how I read, like, obviously I know how to read, but it's neurodivergence, okay? It's hard. I really do like her and feel that we have a great connection, but I've told her that the next move has to come from her if that's what she wants. Well, what do you constitute as a move? Because she's already reached out to you and you said that she's made it clear that she likes you. Whatever. I feel like the play is just keep doing my own thing and wait for her to inject herself into my life when she feels like it. I've left the ball in her court, but I'm tempted to go over and kick it closer. Any advice? Anyone speak confused lady? Edit, thanks for the great thoughts, everyone. I'm reading everything in here. I've been hurt in situations like this before, so I'm already coming at this from a place of guarding myself. I'll just keep doing my own thing and see what happens. Where do I begin? Okay, so OP hasn't given any clues as to their pronouns or anything like that, so I will use OP and they. Okay, so basically let's sum up the situation here. Let's set the baseline for what we're talking about. So, okay, you met this woman through a friend. She was in a long-term relationship that just broke up 6 months ago. To be honest, in my mind, like 6 months isn't fresh. Maybe that's me, maybe that's because, you know, people with ADHD tend to not have a concept of time and be more impulsive. I don't know, whatever. I don't think that's that fresh, to be honest, okay? But anyway, she wasn't considering a relationship, but, you know, you were doing the kissing and the cuddling and stuff like that, so she was open to something at least. Fine, fair enough, you do you. Then OP had her over later, well, like later in the day or like a few times later. Anyway, so OP has got strong feelings, okay? So the woman is like, I like you, but I don't want a relationship right now. And OP is like, but I want to date you. I like you. And doesn't want to be like hanging around waiting to see or whatever. Apparently, let's come back to that because conflicting. So then they didn't speak to each other for a few weeks and stuff like that because OP needed space, which again is fair enough. That seems sensible. If you want more and they've clearly told you that you don't, then a little bit of space and distance just to not escalate the situation, just to calm your feelings a little bit and let things settle down. That seems like a good idea. Then after some time, she starts texting again from the bushes. Saying like, oh, hey, you know, I miss you, it was nice to see you and stuff like that. But then they clearly have started messaging again. Then this lady is like apparently giving clear signals to the OP that she is interested, but it's not clear then to what extent and exactly what it is that she's interested in. In the meantime, OP is playing the field, going on dates and stuff like that because they ain't into no bullshit hanging around. However, then this is where they seem to backtrack on themselves and are like saying conflicting things. So they really do like the woman and feels that they have a great connection, but then like the ball is in her court and should I kick it closer? No, like, bitch, honestly, you're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself because what you're basically saying is like, I have strong feelings for this woman. She doesn't want a relationship. I do. Oh yeah, let me go and like keep playing the field, except you're basically now like, oh, if you want me, you're gonna have to chase me. Then she doesn't chase you, and now you're like, oh, hi, hello. Like, it's very, you know, you remember like in the 90s and the 2000s where like MSN Messenger was like the thing, okay, MSN Messenger, and at some point they gave you the ability to like appear offline. It's very that kind of way where you're online on MSN after school, you see that the person that you like is also online right now, but they haven't started a conversation with you. What? Oh my goodness. So instead of being a fucking grown up, I mean, at this time we were teenagers, right? So at least you have that excuse that you're an actual fucking child. Instead of being a grown up and just sparking up the conversation yourself, initiating it yourself, you then like keep setting yourself to like offline, online, offline, 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 online, because you know then that that will put a notification on their screen that like, hey, I'm here, hello, hoping then that you'll get their attention and they'll spark up a conversation with you. Like, that is very that, being like, oh yeah, you come to me, I'm not going to initiate anything, ball is in your court, yet I want to kick it closer, saying that you don't want to be strung around and that's why you're dating other people. You're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. Do you know what I think? Only knowing what the person has posted, obviously, we don't have anything else to go on. I think she is interested in this person superficially and just wants to have casual, fun time together, you know, a little bit of back scratching. That's so gross. You know, she doesn't want anything serious, she doesn't want anything big, but she really likes OP, and OP is like, I want to lock this shit down, and it's not matching up. So instead of just like fucking facing reality, they're keeping themselves strung along. Like, make a decision. Don't be all like, oh yeah, it's up to you, you come to me when you're ready. You're either hanging around or you're not. You either say, look, I really, really like you. I think we could really have something. I know that you're not ready right now. When you are, please come and let me know, and let's see if we can have something. But then you need to actually like accept the fact that she might never want to have something with you and get on with your fucking life in the meantime, you know? Or you say, look, I'm really into you and I want to have a relationship, but you clearly don't. So since we don't want the same things and I don't want to hang about, it's confusing for me and it's not fair for me that you're like clearly sending me all these signals that I don't know what to do with. So can you just back off a little bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, decide what you want first and actually make up your mind. Like, don't kid yourself and then like act like you're waiting for her when you're like, it's just playing games. Like, I'm not into the game. That's what I think of that one. Okay, what else? Ooh, how to flirt on your first date. How to flirt on your first date? Question mark. I find this really difficult. I'm always anxious that I might say something stupid or go out of boundaries by an accident because I just don't know the person yet. Wow, that's like no context. So you just want like just general like flirting advice, like with no information about you, your personality type, the kind of things that you like, what your boundaries are. It's so general. I have a lot of opinions, I have a lot of things that could be helpful, but without more context, I'm just fucking like making it up, do you know what I mean? Like, it has to be specific to context, so I'm gonna skip this one, let's move on. Perfect on paper. I, 34 female, met a person, 36 male, old. What? Are they saying he's old because he's 4 years older? Anyway, I met a person old. About 3 months ago, I had recently stopped dating someone I really liked, but was ultimately not compatible in a lot of ways with long term. I went on this date somewhat reluctantly, only because I have had a couple of bad dates before it. I mean, that would send me the other way, honestly, but fair enough. I'm so glad that I went. Good for you. He's very kind, considerate, and he's smart. We share a lot of similarities in how we'd like to live our lives. He's fine without kids of his own, but loves that I have to. That's nice. He was caring when I had to open up about some trauma from my past unexpectedly. Good. He introduced me to his friends, and we were going to meet his sister next weekend before she got ill. Oh, hope she gets better soon if she's not already. He has a glass half full outlook. He's financially responsible, and we care for our homes in a similar way. When we do the nasty, it's great. Tony the Tiger, but, and it's a big but. I'm not feeling a spark. Oh, okay. How long has this been going on? About 3 months, okay. I'm not feeling a spark after 3 months. That rush of butterflies isn't there. I don't know if it's because he's safe and I feel comfortable with him, or if there isn't a connection. I've been in quite a few unhealthy relationships. Girl, this is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, let me get to that. I've been in quite a few unhealthy relationships. My major ones, first guy was a long distance relationship. Girl. After I moved for school and was angry when I couldn't do long distance. He was angry when I couldn't do long distance. And I waited to break up with him when he could have been having fun. Okay, we don't know the context to say whether that was the right or wrong thing. Second was good. He was my first true love and I still hold him dear, but we were young and the relationship ran its course. Fair enough. Third was very toxic on both sides. Good for you for admitting it. Lots of jealousy, his family hated me. Fourth was my kid's dad. We were together for almost 10 years. That's a long time. He turned out quite controlling. And I was not true to myself and how I wanted our life to look. There's a lot of honesty going on here. I respect that. We were massively incompatible. The last guy is a narcissist and said whatever I wanted to hear to keep me while cheating throughout. Let's not diagnose people, but okay. I've dated short term as well and had lots of therapy to figure out what I really want. Good for you. Now I've met him and he's perfect on paper, but there aren't fireworks. The sex is great, but infrequent, and he doesn't touch me much. No hand on the leg when talking, no gentle back rubs, things like that. No casual touches. But he holds my hand after I mentioned that I dated someone who wouldn't hold my hand. That's nice. It's like paying attention, you know? He shaves for me because my skin gets super irritated on his stubble. Oh, relatable. I have very sensitive skin and I don't like it when like my face or my nose gets jabbed when I'm kissing someone. That's not nice. So that's very sweet that he does that. I've met people in his life, but he doesn't tell me how he feels, and sometimes conversation lags. Is this gentle, small love what it is meant to be like? This is very interesting. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So OP has been seeing this guy for about 3 months now. Just got out of a thing, but it's going really well so far. He seems like a really nice person. The sex is thumbs up when it happens, but it doesn't happen very often. She hasn't said anything about who initiates. I mean, I guess you could say that since he's not so much into the casual physical touch, that maybe it's her, but I would suspect that if it was only her initiating, then she maybe would have said that, just assuming I can only go off the post. So it seems that he must be interested in physical stuff, but he's maybe physical touch isn't one of his love languages, naturally. However, she did say that an ex didn't hold her hand, and that made her somewhat sad, and now he does hold her hand, so that's nice. He seems like he listens, which is good. Okay, now OP is like, I'm not feeling a spark despite all this, despite him being super nice, despite, you know, the touchy-feely being nice when it does happen. She's not getting the rush of butterflies. And yeah, she says she's been in quite a few unhealthy relationships. Let's cut straight to the chase, okay? Because, I mean, saying this is small love, like what even is love, you know what I mean? Just asking, just, you know, reading what you've posted and answering the questions that you've answered. Obviously, I don't have the full context, but to me, this very much does seem like a very, very common situation in terms of that one, you've gone through some bullshit in the past. Okay, it was like drama. And a lot of the times, because of the second thing, society, media, our peers, like just all these toxic, stupid ass, dumb messages that we get teach us to believe that unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships, lack of communication, abusive behavior, we are taught to believe that those things equal passion and that passion is good, and if that you don't have passion in a relationship, then it's like no spark, it's not exciting, it's not like meant to be or whatever. Perfect example of this, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Scandal with, I think her name is Kerry Washington. Very, very good actress. The show, I mean, I don't want to digress too much, but at some point the show was good and then it just got like super annoying and ridiculous and stupid. And every time I watch it, because I'm a person who rewatches things whether I like them or not, every time I rewatch it, it pisses me off because the two main characters who are involved in like having an affair like on off, all they do is shout at each other. And there's even a specific scene where Olivia is the main character's name, played by Kerry. Olivia's like, oh, you know, I want passion, I want this, I want that, I want whatever. And that's the reason then, I think, if I remember correctly, that she wants to then break up with like her current person that she's with at the time that she's saying this, which by the way is also like her ex-fiance that she only got engaged to. Sorry, this is spoilers. That she only got engaged to basically like to piss off her dad, which is super fucked up. But anyway, like she's basically like saying exactly what I'm talking about, that she has this perception that basically a nasty, toxic, abusive relationship equals passion, that equals love. That is absolutely not the fucking case. And I think that's what this person here is going through. And, you know, no judgment. I think it's absolutely something that, as I say, society and the media and everything like that, and, you know, specifically that show, like they're specifically saying that. It's toxic, it's what we're being taught, and it's bullshit. It's just, it's not true, it's not real, you know, like relationships, whether they're like romantic, physical, friendship or wherever, they should be healthy, nourishing, they should be beneficial for both parties. And when we are conditioned to believe that bad things are good things, it obviously messes up your mind, it messes up your expectation and, you know, what you think is good, what is like love or like a worthwhile relationship or whatever, and it's completely wrong. On the other side of that is someone who has already been through unhealthy relationships. There is a reason why people who are the target of abuse, people who have been in nasty abusive relationships in the past, there's a reason why they're so much more likely to be in nasty abusive relationships again in the future. A lot of it is to do with it's what they know, and even though it's horrible, they feel more comfortable being abused than they do being treated well. That's one thing. And another thing is that by the very nature of abuse, there's a lot of gaslighting going on. There's a lot of this is the way that it should be, this is what you deserve, you shouldn't expect to be treated any better, you're never going to find someone who loves you enough, who's going to treat you well, blah, 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 blah. There's so many factors going into this. This video turns so serious. Supposed to be having a laugh, but the dad jokes and the puns let me down, okay? So now we're doing real talk. But I'm being serious here, and a lot of this comes from personal experience, also research and listening to a lot of other people. So, I'm not a psychologist or a counsellor in any way, but I know what I'm talking about, okay? It's bullshit. So then coming back to this, having said all of that, that doesn't necessarily mean that just because someone is nice to you, that you have feelings for them and that you should continue a relationship with them, okay? Because someone can still be nice to you and be a great person. You can still enjoy them as a person and want to have a platonic relationship with them without necessarily wanting anything else. Now my question comes in is why is she sleeping with this guy if then there's don't get me wrong, you can sleep with someone and not want to be in a relationship with them, right? That's totally fine and it's okay, but I don't know, she's giving me mixed signals here as to what does she want and how does she feel in the relationship. Because if you say the sex isn't that frequent, but I'm okay with the frequency and I enjoy it when we have it and I like being around this person, I could be quite happy with them, great. Ask yourself what is missing. And if you just say spark, and by spark you do mean drama, then, reteach yourself what a healthy relationship looks like, reconfigure your template for that. But if you say, well, actually there's other stuff missing, that they would like to do stuff physically more often or whatever, OP needs to figure out what it is that she actually wants and how she feels about this person. If she's think about it as in, would I rather be with you tomorrow or not? And if you're yeah, I would want to be with you tomorrow. If that was my last day on earth, I would want to be together. That to me is a good sign. Again, things don't have to be super passionate, dramatic, super intense to be, happy and healthy. I think there's a lot to be said for being content. On the other side, if you were okay, world's gonna end in 2 days, do you want to be with this person tomorrow? If you're hell no, I don't got time to waste, I've got other shit that I want to do, other people that I want to be with, then do you know what I mean? Think of it that way and just figure out for yourself, what you want. And keep in mind as well that the idea of a good, happy relationship is going to be very different for different people. Again, there's a lot of societal and cultural norms when it comes to relationships, especially I don't like using the term romantic relationships because I think, when you think of it in the typical sense of people being together, it's not necessarily romantic and it's also not necessarily a couple, blah, 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 blah. But you know what I'm getting at, I think when people think of a romantic, stereotypical, traditional relationship, there are a lot of expectations on that, that there are phases and stuff and things need to get to the next level and where are we going and all that kind of stuff. And if that truly is what you want, that's fine. Be clear about that with yourself and the other person and talk about it. But if it's not what you want and you realize that actually you're just doing and expecting these things because that's what you've been taught, smash that, break that down. If you know that that's not really what you want, don't do it. Do what you want to do, what makes you happy, so long as it's not hurting other people or yourself. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my advice, I guess. Is this what it's meant to be like? Not meant to be like anything. It's different for everyone. Figure out what you want. Okay? Okay. Good. So this video took quite a turn, but actually, in terms of making me feel less meh and less irritable, I think it worked. So I'm entertained. Are you? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more like this. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. See you next time. Bye bye, 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 bye.